Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Adams Brothers podcast. We are here this evening with the current president and vice president of the Deerfield Beach Rattlers, Mr. Tyrone Philpart, who is our cousin, and Mr. Ted Riley. Gentlemen, welcome to the Adams Brothers podcast show. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So, hey, man, we want to thank you guys for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come on our podcast, man, and talk to us about the Pacquiao Rattlers. The Pacquiao Rattlers started, we all used to play for the Pacquiao Rattlers, man. We all started back in the 70s. The Pacquiao Rattlers started back in 1976, and some of the original overseers was my dad, Bernard Adams, Miss Sylvia Portier, Calvin McCoy, Frank Scott, Melvin Felton, Charles Boo Boo Fullins, Miss Linda Ferris, Cheryl Kitt, Mr. Wardell Chance, Carl Nixon, and Ben Corris. So those are just some of the few people that started out the Deerfield Pacquiao Rattlers. And
Coach Bailey.
Huh?
Coach Bailey.
Coach Robert Bailey too, as well. You know, it's some names that we didn't get all of the names, but those are some of the people that we left some of the names out. Pardon us for leaving your name out, but you know who you are, and we want to, thank you all if you're still here with us for, putting together these Pacquiao Rattlers back in the days. We're still going strong, so we're back now. The Pacquiao Rattlers went away for a little while, but we're back, and Tyrone, let's start with you, cuz. Let's tell us what some of the things you got going on out there with the Deerfield Pacquiao Rattlers. What's going on, and what direction are we going in right now?
Well, I'm going to tell you, man, it's an honor to, be affiliated with the Pacquiao Rattlers. When y'all came over to the Pacquiao Rattlers, I was a Deerfield Raider. I wanted to come, but Flora Philpart said you started with the Raiders, you're going to finish with the Raiders. But that's all right. I ended up a Pacquiao Rattler anyway. And, all we're trying to do, man, is get us back to the days where, those names that you just, called off. We want to get it back to the status that they had us in. So all we're out here trying to do is just provide that platform. Ted's a lot more involved than I am, but we want to provide the platform for the community to come out and be a part of, something that's historic. And make sure that we are doing, everything that the city requires us to do. So it's just, we're back in the Flow Rider League this year. It's kind of daunting, but exciting at the same time. And, it's up to our coaches. I think we got Joe Grooms out there as our director of football operations, Marilyn Strawbridge as our director of cheer operations. And we're just following their lead with the coaches and letting the community do what the community does. Because, Deerfield's strong on Pacquiao Rattlers and we love football. Right. And, we're just here to support and do everything that we can do to support them.
Right. Okay, tell us a little bit about Flow Rider. I heard you mention Flow Rider. Tell us, everybody, the people that don't know about Flow Rider. What is Flow Rider?
Man, Flow Rider is the Flow Rider Youth Football League, man. And as in my opinion, as a former, referee, for years and years, I think it's the most talented youth football league in the country. It comes with some challenges. It comes with crowds and, some issues. It's a little more difficult to get a detailed schedule, but there's a reward because you're playing the best. You're playing against the best, and, you're giving your kids an opportunity to become the best. But hands down, it is the best. It is the best football around for youth football. So, everybody's excited about it. The minute we said, we did Pop Warner 2 years ago, and, people weren't as excited as we'd hoped. But now we got the Pacquiao Rattlers and we got the Flow. So we got the best youth football organization playing in the best football league. So it's a match that's made in heaven.
Okay, Vice President Ted Riley, tell us a little bit about, the transportation. How do the Pacquiao Rattlers get to and from these games, the away games? Of course, they don't need transportation for home games, but the transportation to and from the away games. How do the Pacquiao Rattlers get to those games?
So it's a partnership with the city of Deerfield, and they've been very supportive of what we are doing out there. They back us 100%. And so what we kind of do is we partner with the city of Deerfield, And as far as what games we have away, they provide the transportation for us to our away games. And some of the parents, they do drive their kids, but the vast majority of the kids, they do get transportation by the city of Deerfield. So they are supporting us 100%. And we're so appreciative of that, because I know a couple of years ago, they didn't want anything to do with the Deerfield Beach Packer Rattlers. Now it's been a change in leadership, and the city has welcomed us with open arms, and we just want to do what they're asking us to do so they can continue to support us.
And yeah, we definitely do want to thank the city of Deerfield for supporting the Deerfield Beach Packer Rattlers, and we really do appreciate the city of Deerfield. I know they watch our podcast, so if you're out there watching, all of the Deerfield Beach city officials, we do thank you, all of us. We really thank you for your support, and we really hope that you all will continue to support us. And I'm sure you guys have been very transparent with the city, and when they ask for records or whatever, you provide them to them, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Okay. And that's one of the key things, just being transparent.
Right.
Whatever they ask for, we try to get it to them in a timely manner. Right. So it's no questions asked.
Okay. All right, Wayne.
Yes, gentlemen. What has the last 3 years being the president and the vice president of the Packer Rattlers been like?
Well, I can tell you, this year is a little bit different. Last year we sat out because due to COVID. But that first year, man, it was I think because we got into the game a little bit late, coach and trainer and we were the books, and we there was a skeleton crew to start. So it was real tough. But we were able to make it through that first season. This year, the support is outrageous. It's outstanding. We've got a lot of our board has grown. We got more coaches. We got parents out there. The enthusiasm is through the roof. So right now, it's just a matter of us just setting the guidelines and making sure that everyone follows it. But now it's great. It's a great experience. So, we look forward to an outstanding season.
Okay, Ted, I'd like to hear from you on that same thing.
What I experienced and what we kind of experienced together was it was a learning curve for us. I mean, being vice president and Tyrone being the president, a lot of the stuff we had to do hands-on ourselves, because like Tyrone said, when we first came back in Pop Warner, the excitement of being in that league was not there. So it was hard to get parents to participate. It was hard to get coaches to come out. So a lot of the stuff as the board we had to do, we had to facilitate, we had to make sure that we took care of that. But like Tyrone said, once we switched over to the league that we're in, the excitement is through the roof, and we've got more people wanting to participate, and we need more, but it's a whole lot lighter burden on our shoulders right now, because at this point, as a board, we're supposed to, just look from the outside and just make sure everything is going the way it's supposed to be going. And we've got great people in leadership, Joe Grooms and Marilyn Strawbridge, that are running the cheer and the football program for us, that are helping us. So with that, we've learned, but in the process of learning, we learned everything that we needed to learn for the organization. So when it comes to teaching and training, we have learned that. So we know how it's supposed to be executed. So as far as teaching and training, it has been tremendous for us. So, but it was a good experience.
And if I can jump in, I can tell you, 2 years ago, the late great Mike Chance, saw, the things that we had to do, and he laughed at us. We miss Mike. He was the second honorary board member. It was like, he's like, man, y'all doing books? What's wrong with y'all? And your dad was out there. Your dad was giving us some pointers, with our code of conduct and all of those things. So we're blessed in that first season to have the advice and the ears and from Big Mike and your dad. So we really appreciate that. They helped us a lot.
And y'all answered actually a follow-up question I had about the day-to-day operations. I wanted you to explain the day-to-day operations as president and vice president. Y'all pretty much answered that, and Ted answered earlier about. I also had wanted to know what was the city's partnership like with the Rattlers now and their relationship. And Ted said that they have been 100%. So that's answered a question that I had there. And I also wanted to ask, do the Rattlers have after-school mentorship programs as far as like education? Because I know in the past that was kind of a question I remember commissioners were asking about when the Bisons were here. They were saying that the Rattlers wasn't offering mentorship programs or after-school studies, and I was just wondering, do the Rattlers offer that right now?
Well, that's something that we've always planned on offering. You're talking about going to a season late 2 years ago when we went to Pop Warner, where we were shorthanded. We were late to the game, no coaches, because most, to be honest, besides the enthusiasm about, being in Pop Warner or lack thereof, we were late to the game. So we didn't have an opportunity to do it then. And then, of course, we're coming off of a year and a half of COVID. So that's something that we have to build into it. I'm an educator. We've got some educators on the board, and that's something that is vital to us. So we want to build that in, but we're just taking it one step at a time. We're trying not to overwhelm ourselves. We want to make sure that when we put it in place, that it's something that's sustainable. But that will be something coming down the line.
Okay. Ted, you want to offer anything to that?
Well, I know also Wayne Barton. I'm sure you guys know him. He's reached out to us, and we are in the process of scheduling a meeting because he kind of wants to help with that process, what Tyrone kind of talked about. But in the end, we're just looking for something that's going to have longevity, something that's going to be fruitful for the individuals that are involved.
And in the past, I hear a lot of parents, even right now, say they want to take their kids out there, but they're afraid of the atmosphere. Can you all assure the parents that Oviedo McKeithen Park and the Packer Rattlers organization is a safe organization to bring their kids to play football?
Well, I can tell you that with the vetting from the city and the vetting from our board, we are trying to make sure that we have individuals who are out there volunteering that are dedicated to doing such. We want to make sure that we're taking every precaution necessary to assure the safety of our kids and our parents. And we're committed to that. But it's something that we all as a community have to pitch in and help assure. But we're definitely, that's a priority for us, for sure.
Okay, Ted, you want to add anything to that?
No, Tyrone, he summed it up. That's something that's near and dear to us. I mean, talking with Tyrone when he used to ref, he gave me some examples of some things that happened at parks that he was committed to making sure it didn't happen at our organization. And so those are the things that we constantly talk about as far as safety for the kids, safety for the volunteers, and safety in general for the community. So taking care of our kids is a must, and that's the first priority, and that includes safety. So we are 100% on trying to make sure we can do whatever we can do to make sure that's a good experience for the customers as they come out and experience the youth football and cheer that we offer.
Okay, do you think the city is providing enough money for the Rattlers as of this moment right now? I mean, I don't know. I asked that question earlier, but Commissioner Preston told me that you guys would be able to give me an answer on that. I talked to him. Well, I texted him earlier. Do you think that's enough right now, or do you think right now, as far as that we need more? Because if you do, we here, and we have a good relationship with them. I mean, we here for your support in the future, or whatever you need to get funds or whatever. So the question I'm asking again is, do you think the Rattlers are getting enough right now?
Well, you can never have enough. And we are grateful for the contribution from the city. I think we've taken it upon ourselves. We know that as a private organization, we shoulder some of that responsibility to raise funds. So, we've got a board that's committed to doing it. Again, we've been affected by COVID, so we're getting back out. We're trying to do fundraisers, but we're thankful for the city and everything that they're doing. Would we like $100,000 instead of 35,000? Of course, but there are budgetary limits, and we are again thankful for their support. If you really sum it up, and we don't like to compare apples to oranges, but if you sum it up, field rental and everything else that we're doing and that they're providing, we're in a great spot. I know that people like to say, look at what the McDougal's got when they first started because they were trying to start something up. But I know for years and years, the Rattlers got $15,000 a year. So we've greatly exceeded that. We got a board that's really capable. We got great parents and a great community. So we have an opportunity to make this a success financially. We just have to put in the work. And, if you're going to lobby the city and lobby Publix and JM, we don't turn down that support. We'll never say no. It's a community effort. And so whatever you can do, but we are really, really thankful for what the city's doing. And, whatever they don't provide, then we'll make a way to make it work.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Daryl?
And I know you mentioned funding just now, Tyrone. When we played football, we raised a lot of money through the concession stands. And I'm sure that they still do some fundraising through the concession stands. How much of a profit do the city? Well, let me just say, how much of a profit does the Packer Rattlers make off of the concession stands? Do you make enough to offset some of the costs, or you just kind of break even?
I can tell you 2 years ago, if you ever passed by West Side Park when we were playing, there was a crowd out there, but it was never, like it was in the old days. So we made almost enough 2 years ago to pay the referees. So we were, at the end of the day, we were out of money, but we made just about enough to pay the referees. So, we had some fundraisers and some donations that took care of the rest. But I know the crowds and the participation is going to be a lot better this year. So we are anticipating, those numbers to go up. But at the same time, our expenses are going to go up because we're going to have more security detail. So it's something that, the needle's always moving, but we're prepared to face that challenge and make it work.
And when you say security, is that security from Broward Sheriff's Office?
Yes. That is going to be a mandate, especially when we're going to the night. We don't know the number of detail officers that we're going to need. It depends on the time, but we're going to need at least one or two, throughout the day. We kind of got away with less a couple years ago because we were playing in a league that, was that was a little easier to deal with. But we're going to make the adjustment, and we're working that out with the city and with BSO now. And that just goes back to making sure that we are securing the safety of our kids and our patrons, parents, and families.
Okay. And Ted, how many teams do the Packer Rattlers currently have right now?
Currently, right now, we have 9 football, and we're in the process. And as far as the cheer is concerned, I believe we have about 6 as far as the cheer is concerned. But each day we are growing. More kids are coming out. So at the beginning, July 18th is the cutoff date, and we should know exactly how many teams that we're going to have. The league has given us a mandate on how many players they consider to be a full team. And if we don't reach that number July 18th, then we have to let them know. So right now we are striving to have 9 football and 6 cheer. right now. So that's what we are in the process of having right now. But we will know at a later date for sure.
And how much is the registration fees to play football?
So what we did, we had a pre-registration fee for the city of Deerfield residents, and it was $50. And for the ones that were not from the city of Deerfield, we charged them $60. We've since continued that because when we first started up, we didn't charge any registration fees because we wanted to, because of the taste that the community had with the Packer Rattlers, we wanted to, just take care of the players and the cheerleaders that came back. And now we're at a point now where we're in a different league. We've got more participation. So we're right around that, Wayne. And I can tell you, Darryl, I can tell you, you can go any place and you're not going to get the rate that we're giving here at the city of Deerfield for pre-registration. Now, I've heard some parks that are charging $400 per kid for registration.
Right. And that's a lot. And that's in the middle of a pandemic, at the backside of a pandemic, that's kind of like unaffordable. $400, I don't think many parents can afford that right now. And that's good. You guys are keeping those registration fees low. My final question, if someone wanted to make a donation to the Packer Rattlers for the referees, or just want to make a donation to you all to offset some of the costs that you have, how could they do that?
Well, can they do it through like Cash App or Zelle?
Cash App, Zelle, or write an old-fashioned check?
Yeah, they can write a check to Deerfield Beach Packer Rattlers, or if they want to do Cash App, they can do $DPR Rattlers, and that will come correctly straight to the organization.
$GPR Rattlers.
In all caps, $DPR Rattlers.
Is it DPR Rattlers or DP Rattlers?
DPR Rattlers. DPRATTLERS.
Okay.
Because that's good to know, because I think people throughout the year would make donations. I don't think that, at least the information was not known to me in the past. It might have been out there, but I'm glad that you all are doing this. I think this will definitely help put you all over the top financially, because people like me, I need some write-off sometimes, so I wouldn't have no problem sending something to you monthly or whatever. And I know a lot of people had been asking me that in the past. Do the Rattlers have anything set up where they can send monthly money? Because I know a lot of people, and I'm quite sure I can get some people to send some money there now that I have that Cash App information.
That is fantastic, and just let them know that we are a 501c3, and they will get their donation letter from us as long as we can get the information from them. So we really appreciate it.
That was going to be my final question. Did you have an active 501c3? And you answered that question. So that's all the questions I have for you. I don't know if Wayne has any more questions for you guys.
Yeah, I have just one more, actually. Being that we're, I think, almost to the end of this COVID right now, what kind of restrictions have, or do the city or Florida League have any restrictions as far as COVID protocol from June until the season ends?
Say that. Well, every park is had to submit their own protocol to the league. The city has worked with us. They've let us provide our protocol to them as well. We're starting temperature checks tonight. I know that on game days, prior to check-in, Flowrider has us doing temperature checks for every team. And if a kid's temperature is above whatever, then they are not permitted to dress. We're trying to keep as much a social distance as possible, but you're playing tackle football. So, being six feet apart from your opponent probably ain't a good thing. So, we just want to make sure our coaches, when they're not blowing the whistles, when they're on the field, they have on their mask, and pretty much, just try to keep the kids on the sidelines socially distance as much as we can, and just pray that everyone is safe. It's outdoors, it's young kids, so hopefully everything goes well. I know I coach high school football. We actually played last year. We didn't have any cases. We were blessed, and we just hope that we're able to get through this season and have everybody safe as well.
Okay, and I think your mic is off, Tyrone.
Oh yeah, I keep turning. Oh, did you hear me? Every
It
time I stop
disappeared.
talking, I hit mute.
Oh, there's Ted right there. Okay.
And my final question is: so people always, even when the last regime was there, people always asked about the board, the Packer Rattlers board. Can you all explain what is the role of the board? If a board is in place right now, what is the role of that board, and what kind of powers do they have?
Well, the board is responsible for the operation of the organization. Presently we have 8 members a part of the board from various backgrounds, various levels, and the board, we pretty much vote on just about everything that pertains to the organization. So with Tyrone being the president, Tyrone can't just go decide to make a decision and do it without consulting the board, and vice versa. I can't do the same thing. No board member can, but we have a treasurer, we have a secretary, we have just regular board members. We've got football director, we've got a cheer director, and so president and vice president. So it's just like the average corporate board where you have various members and no individual has total control power. And, it's just some of the things we vote on is, what type of uniforms or what colors or if we're going to spend so much amount of money, we have to decide as a board, is that going to be a worthy cause? And if it is, we vote on it. A lot of the votes that we do have, everybody's 100% on board. And then sometimes we vote and you have, where it's, 60% are for it and 40% are against it. So, but the 60% as a majority will rule as far as the decision is being concerned. And we'll go with that decision. And one great thing about our board is whatever the decision is, we move on, we move forward, and we don't hold no ill will. And that's one of the things that I like, because I've been a part of some boards where individuals, because they didn't get what they wanted, they held that against the rest of the board for the rest of the time that we were part of that board or that organization. So again, we have a great team of people that, we got God first, we put God first, and those kids are our number one priority. Everything that we do is totally focused on how can we make a difference to our kids and be a blessing to our kids. Because someone paid it forward for us. Somebody did it for us when we went through the Pacquiao Rattlers organization growing up, playing. We had people that did that for us. So that's our passion. That's our commitment to our community, to our kids. So in a nutshell, that's what the board is responsible for.
And I can tell you right now, from my point of view, they have 2 great, strong Black men running that organization right now. And y'all have, I know from just listening to you, your character and your morals are high. And just listening to y'all, I'm excited, because I know it's good things to come to this organization. And I'm proud of both of you all. I told you that, Ted, about 2 years ago when I saw you down in, y'all was playing at Sunland Park. I told you, I'm very proud of Tyrone. I'm very proud of the work that you all doing. And I think this whole community should be proud of y'all rescuing the organization. And I just hope you all keep up the good work. Again, if you ever need us as far as whatever, I mean, like I say, we have a good relationship with the commissioners, and we talk to them all the time behind the scenes. So if you ever need us, don't hesitate to reach out to us. And we're
Yeah,
here.
we appreciate you. We appreciate you, and we're gonna take you up on that because again, we're on the board, and a lot of times, the attention with the Packer Rattlers is going to Tyrone Philpart and Ted Riley, but this is a community thing. We are just a part of it. So we need you guys to keep doing what you're doing, and we appreciate you bringing us on and getting the word out. And we just want to see this, the Packer Rattlers be strong, long after we're gone. So that's I think we're all on the same page. We got the same ambition and the same desires for this organization, for these kids. And I'm a Deerfield High teacher. I want to make the Packer Rattlers strong so that Deerfield High is being fed our kids, and in the future, our kids are the ones that are on that field on Friday nights. Being great student athletes, getting scholarships. So that's another big thing for me. So, that's something that we all need to be doing together. So we thank you guys for having us on and everything that you have done and will continue to do for the community and for the Packer Rattlers.
Absolutely.
You're welcome to come back anytime. Y'all welcome back.
All right. I know I said I was gonna, before we let you go, I know I said I had that was my last question, but I just thought of one thing. And real quick, Tyrone, the concussion protocol. What concussion protocol do you follow? Do you follow the NFL concussion protocol, or do you have your own?
Well, we try to follow the high school model. If there's a suspected concussion, the kid is obviously out for the game, and they have to go to the doctor, come back, and then go through that. I think it's about a week. I don't know it verbatim, but we rely on the trainers, and we try to follow the high school model. Right. So they have to go through that before they can participate in any follow-up activities.
All right, well, that wraps it up for us. Tyrone Philpart, he is the current president of the Deerfield Beach Packer Rattlers, and the vice president, Mr. Ted Riley. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Keep up the good work. You'll have our support as well as the community's support. Anything you guys need, you know how to reach us, man. Reach out to us, and we'll do whatever we can do to help you guys. So thank you both for coming on the Adams Brothers podcast, and you're welcome to come back anytime. And you gentlemen have a good evening. Yeah, have a good evening.
Thank y'all again.
All right, we appreciate you guys again, man. Thanks for what you guys are doing.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
All right, you too.